Jennifer Tracy, what's going
Hello.
on?
We're back in video.
It's been such a long time.
I know it's been what, 5 weeks?
5 weeks since we've spoken, but yeah, you know what? I don't know when the last time I talked and did a daily kindness or anything like that. It probably is 5 or 6 weeks ago. In fact, weirdly enough, when I was on my travels, I recorded one. I still haven't released it. Isn't that weird?
I've actually done that multiple times, and I sometimes I kick myself when I do that because I think, am I just getting in my own way? But when I watch the video, I'm like, no, I no longer feel compelled to share what I was feeling in that moment. Then it feels awkward to then share it later.
Yeah, I am going to share it, but my issue is a little bit different. I this year have not found my motivation for social media. I have been struggling to kind of be on LinkedIn to engage. And I think it started off with the holiday break that I take every year through Christmas and New Year's. I just get off, don't get online, spend time with family, decompress. But then something strange happened this year. The world started to quickly return to normal.
Yeah.
And the part of my job that takes me places and requires interaction with physical environments, it's come back in a big way. And the interesting thing was, I've always been on LinkedIn, but it's been during the pandemic when this part of my job hasn't been available to me that I've really dug in as the kindness games, some
Right.
leader in security, these types of things. And I'm finding myself struggling to which way do I go? Do I embrace the physical world, which I actually like a lot better than
Right.
social media world, or can I make a decision to do both? And what does that look like? What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, honestly. So travel picked back up. So I think I've traveled 3 or 4 times already this year.
Wow.
And I'm with you in that struggle of it was so much easier for me to wake up, put my makeup on, and I didn't have to really leave the house, or if I did, it was just close proximity. So I'm with you on that. I think for people who are listening, today, my takeaway really would be like you said, you've kind of sat with yourself, Tim, and had to really think about what do you want, what serves you, what can you really sustain. And I know for myself, man, I love the people that I have connected with me socially. And so, I'm still committed to that. But I did have to take kind of a break, 4 or 5, 6 weeks of oh my gosh, how do I manage on the road, still showing up,
Life.
life, and then just that,
Yeah.
that, like you said, the ability to meet in real time, have a meal with someone, hug them, play a game with them versus this, right?
Absolutely. And it would be different if just the pandemic, being at home, the social media stuff, if it was just terrible and not worth it. But you and I have met this way. We've never met in person. We've
Yep.
become pretty good friends. There's so many relationships that I have forged with people. Lee Otten,
Yep.
he's my co-founder, co-creator in the kindness games. I've still never met him in real life. So where my struggle ends, and this is kind of what I want to talk about. I want to take a few minutes to talk about what I'm thinking. Maybe you can take a few minutes to talk about what you're thinking.
Right.
So that people out there that are struggling with this tension right here,
Mm-hmm.
how do I jump back into real life,
Mm-hmm.
but yet keep some of the really good things, good habits, good initiatives I started while I couldn't engage in the physical world?
Right.
That sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a daily kindness / daily pill. Shout out to Jake Edwards, 3 Guys in a Ball, and the Weekly Pill podcast. If you find yourself torn between your old normal and your new normal, right? Because you like the physical world and the way things used to be better than how things were during COVID. I'm there. I like where things are going this year, much better than the last 2 years.
Right.
But I choose to keep the meaningful things going. So I've got travel coming up. I choose to reach out to people that I've connected to in all these places around the country and around the world and try to meet for a coffee or a meal
Mm,
to actually forge and solidify that relationship that we started in the virtual world,
right.
solidify it in the physical world, and actually build a solid physical network around the world that I can rely on.
Oh, I love that. And part of that is actually happening for me. So like here in 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to be flying in for a keynote. So it's going to be my first one in a while. And it's a relationship that someone I met in LinkedIn. She's got me coming in and like, I, I'm giddy. I'm like, not only do I get to see her in person, but so she said to me, she's like, we'll fly you in this day. You'll speak. Do you want to go home that night? I said, oh no, I'd rather stay. And so we were both like hashtag girl time, it was like, we're just so excited that like, yes, I'm coming in to do this thing that I do, but like, we're going to take some time to just, like you said, meet in real time and be girls. So
Awesome.
yeah.
The other thing that I'm choosing to do is I'm choosing to carve out private, alone, solo, mental block time in my day, whether I'm at home, whether I'm on the road, whether I'm doing virtual stuff, whether I'm doing physical stuff, but time for me to recenter, think about the purpose that I'm bringing to the day and the
Mm-hmm.
interactions that are within it. And that includes virtual interactions and social media interactions. I need to recommit to finding my purpose
Mm-hmm.
before each week starts and before each day starts, so that I can intentionally show up as the person that I need to be to allow other people to have the best experience they can.
Yeah, I love that. And I mean, again, like we say that, like I was just on something yesterday and talking about, putting that oxygen mask on yourself first, right? And like we say that, we know that, but so often we don't do it. And one of the hacks that I share when I'm coaching with people is like, if you're really genuinely feeling like you can't hack into it, like you can't hack into like putting that mask on yourself, then I say, put yourself into the state of like, well, what would you do in the event that you really were an emergency? And I know you would, Tim, right? You would instantly like tap into this part of yourself and be like, oh my gosh, I have to do this right now, right? And so it's a hack that like if I'm sitting and I'm like, I know I need to do that for me,
Yeah.
but I'm feeling blocked, I will like override myself and be like, well, what would you do if your daughters were right there, Jennifer, and someone was coming to get them? What would you do? And I'd be like, of course I'd fight for them. Right. And so then it just like, so it's a hack that I use to be like, well, if this is a state of emergency, you'd be.
Right.
So it works for me.
Good.
That works to get me out of the like, I don't have to. There's no, do you know what I mean? It's like, for
I do.
those of us who like are used to emergent states, right? I think we almost even have an avoidance to that because we had to do things so much in the emergent state.
Yeah.
But the truth is, when that pushes, when that calls, we answer. And so if I can hack myself on those days, I had to do that yesterday, actually.
Flip the switch.
I had to hack myself and say, right now, go do this thing for an hour as if your life depended on it. I did it.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, overcoming motivational blocks, motivational issues is a decision. The last thing that I'm committing to doing is choosing to view the world through the lens of positivity and kindness and gratitude again. And like, Tim, did you stop? You know what? I got busy.
Yeah,
I got busy in the rush, right? In the
right,
mix.
right.
And I forgot what all this time that we've had at home, less physically busy, less distracted a lot of times. I've forgotten to really focus on the positivity and the gratitude and the people around me. the first half of the first quarter of the year. I'm not saying I've become a terrible person, but
Right.
I spent the last 2 years focusing on that, and it's made me a better person. It's made me in a better mental health space, and I need to maintain that as I resume the busyness of the old life.
Well, I think one of the things that's so cool about that, honestly, is like it just shows you the power of community and accountability, right? And that's what appreciate so much about our friendship and our like shared mission,
Yeah.
is the accountability that we continue to reach back out to each other and say, hey, come on, we've got this thing we want to do together. And so for those of you guys who are listening today, I do have an app. Inside that app, I've got some videos. Tim's got a link inside there under my little more tab. So again, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jennifer Tracy. But yeah, the things that you and I are planning to do.
Yeah.
What I love about that is that anybody who wants that accountability, that community, that positivity, the kindness, and just even learning to love yourself,
Yeah.
that's the part that I do so much work with people is when you fall short, when you get off track, how do you speak to yourself? How do you be kind to yourself and motivate yourself?
Rather than punish yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you have any closing thoughts that
I
you
don't
want
think
to?
so. No, I kind of chimed in as you said. I don't have anything on on topic, but happy to join you today.
Yeah, this was awesome. I was like, we're having this conversation. That's amazing. Let's record.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we did that. So thank you for helping
Yeah.
me get over my motivational hump.
Yeah. It's been a challenge navigating the reopening of the world and also the social media. So you're not alone in that.
And if you're watching this, feeling that same tension, you're not alone either.
Yep.
Stay tuned for more daily kindnesses and daily pills. Focus on what happens when we have to restart our old reality
Yep.
in our new reality.
That's where we are. JT signing out.
Bye.